How's it going, guys? Today I got you some very exciting new products here. This is the Godox TL30. I have previously reviewed the Godox TL60, I think a couple months ago. If you want to watch that video, the video link is right here. And just a quick disclaimer that Godox sent me the slides for me to test it out. All my words here are my own. I'm not paid to say anything. This video is not sponsored by Godox. All I'm trying to do here is review some gear for you guys and to keep my YouTube channel going, because every YouTube creators need content. And once again, thank you Godox for sending this slide to me. This light here actually does every single thing that the TL60 does, but sometimes those lights are too long to fit in what I want. You can actually put those lights in those hidden in those little bookshelves or the refrigerators, behind instruments, behind the piano. I actually got called to film a podcast interview, which they also wanted video, not only just audio, and I really wished I had the TL30s right here, but they were still in transit from Hong Kong, China to here, I'm in the United States. But I used the TL60s as a hair light in that particular application there, but I really wish these lights were present with me, because that was actually a paid job with a real client, and this is what we do, cinematography. So this is the case this comes with, and I'm actually a huge fan of this EVA semi-hard cases here, and as you can see, it has a separate compartment for every single thing. It has a divider here in the middle, so I'm actually extremely picky, almost OCD with my equipment, especially this pretty shiny material here. I want these lights to look good like for a long time. And look at the case inside here. So it has a separate compartment for the lights here, the other accessories here, and all the other knickknacks, they actually go in this little top part here. So when I actually close the case, nothing moves inside and nothing touches anything here. Now what I don't like is a product that comes with a bunch of little things along with the light here that does not come with the case. So Godox actually does include a case for this light, the TL60 on the back there, and many other lights, the SZ150R. This thing actually comes with the grid, the Godox TLG30, which controls light spill in case you're doing something particular, or a hair light or anything else that you don't want light to spill all over the place. It also comes with the TL-M2 light coupler, which you can actually make this light turn into a 60 centimeter light, about this long here, almost the size of the TL60. In case you need a longer light, you can actually have this option right here on the very thing that you just bought. These lights, they're too pretty to fall, especially if you have a lousy assistant. You can actually install this on the light right there, and then if the light falls, it's actually hooked on the wrist over here, so you save the light from falling on the concrete, and you actually go home again with a brand new light. It also comes with a USB-C type cable here, which does allow you to actually charge this light while using. Now because you have a device here that has a built-in lithium-ion battery, so before you start to plug in the light and use at the same time you're charging the light, make sure you charge this light at 100%, and then you actually plug it in, and then you actually start using the light. Especially if you use this light at 100% but the battery is actually at 12%, what you're going to be doing is just like when you use a computer on a hard drive. If you actually try to watch footage from that drive at the same time you're writing data on a drive, the needle is going to be read, write, read, write, read, write, right? Same exact thing with the lithium-ion battery. Don't charge the battery at the same time, take away juice from the battery, because the battery is going to be in a lot of stress, which is going to be reducing the lifetime of the battery. So this is never a good idea. When the light is at 100%, even if you crank it up to 100%, the battery is at 100%. So it's not going to be so much stress for the battery. But don't use this light plugged in, especially cranked up, with the battery showing like 2% of power, because the same way your phone gets really hot. And another thing, don't let this light completely die to 0%, because again, this is a lithium-ion battery. They are very temperamental. You are actually hurting the battery. Same thing with your phone. It's always a good idea when it's like a 80%, 60-some%, charge the phone. Don't wait until this thing is all the way down, because again, this hurts lithium batteries. Make sure it is charged as full as possible, and then you actually start to use the light when it is plugged in at the same time. I don't think I have seen so far any other review of the TL30 to show you guys every single little accessory that Godox makes for the lights here. For example, if the TL-M2 wasn't enough, they also make the TL-M8, which allows you to actually hook up 8 of these lights here, so you can actually make the light brighter, or some other reason that you want to have this accessory, so they make this as well for this light. And it also comes with these 2 little bags here, each one containing 3 metal plates in case you want to permanently mount this light on a particular surface there. And also this velcros here, they have a very strong 3M adhesive, very similar to the GoPro cameras, a very strong adhesive. Now I was actually looking at the sub-menus of this light here. Unfortunately, this light does not accept the remote control, which I'm a big fan of. I don't really like to use my iPhone sometimes, especially when I go somewhere that I risk my phone dropping. Sometimes the phone locks, so you have to unlock the phone. on. So I actually have the remote control, the buttons right there. Doesn't matter how bright the day is, you can see everything. So unfortunately, this light is not compatible with the remote control, the Godox RCR9. So to control these lights wirelessly, the only option will be the Godox Lite App, but no remote for this light. You can even throw this light at a bathtub or a pool if you want, because it also comes with this little waterproof kind of thing here. And once you remove this out of this bag, good luck putting it back, because it's going to be a hard one. So it comes folded like this, and this is what the bag actually looks like. And it also comes with this little thing here that can actually look through this top thing here, and you can actually hang this somewhere. I don't think this is a wrist kind of thing because it is a very wide thing here, so but it comes with this here. Now this particular plastic here, the first time I attempted to put the TL30 inside, it was really difficult to put it in, especially in summertime, high humidity. And this plastic, it does have to be very sticky, because this is how you actually prevent water from coming in. If it is another material that the light slides easier here, the thing is not going to be able to seal the water as properly as this plastic here. So just keep in mind that it's going to be a little hard to put this thing inside this bag here. And then you open the bag this way, and this is very easy to come off, this little locks here. And it's very easy to figure out how to put it back, but you know, if it comes off, just look like the other one looks like before you actually start gassing things. But again, it should be a very easy process. Now obviously be careful when you are going to the beach or swamp or whatever, anything that introduces foreign matter to this particular lock here. Avoid sand and everything, because the same way you won't do this with your GoPro camera. You gotta make sure this whole thing here, the top part is clean, so foreign matter doesn't get in here, so it doesn't allow water to leak through. I did not test this yet, and I don't plan to submerge my TL30s anytime soon, but if this is what you want to do, make sure the top part here is clean. And I'm pretty sure this is only intended for just throwing on the surface of the water instead of deep diving with this thing here. For more information on that, you should go to the website and make sure how deep you can go with this. Like I said, it's just pretty much for the surface of the water. Cinematography, filmmaking, everything is very fun. Either if you are a hobbyist or a professional, these things are very fun to use with lights and cameras. Everything nowadays, everything can look very pretty. But there are a lot of people out there still starting out with filmmaking, and a lot of people, they don't have a whole lot of equipment. You can actually use this TL30s here maybe for an emergency key light. Let's say that even if you are a big pro and you are camping, you don't have anything but the TL30s, I'm sure you can actually figure out a way to make this light ultra soft. Now, if you use the actual grid here as a key light, don't expect this light to do anything proper with your face, because the light's going to be rather harsh. As a matter of fact, even a big softbox, when you actually put a grid on it, you're actually making the light a smaller and harsher. Okay, so if you remove this grid here and put a little something in front of it, either a gel or a tracing paper, anything that acts as a diffuser, yeah, you can actually have an emergency last minute kind of key light if this is all you brought with you. But don't try to use this light for key light, because it's not designed for that. However, you can still do a little key light there. So buy the proper thing. You can buy the Godox SL60W. It's only a $115 light, but use the key light with the proper thing, with the softbox, with the bones mount, and then use these lights for the accents, which is the light is designed for. And here's an example with me using the TL30 as a key light with nothing on it, no grid. It looks like this here. Now, if this is all you brought, you can actually put some sort of diffusion in the front, which will look like this way here. And also with the grid, it's going to look like this over here. And here's a little shot using only the two TL30s, and you can actually hide that out of the shot. And using the app, you can easily control each one, the back and the front light, to whatever you want. This shot here is not much to look at. I just grabbed one of my cases to serve as a table, but I'm actually able to light that glass from behind without being on a shot, which is pretty awesome. And thanks to this grid here, I could actually have lighting control. Light doesn't spill anywhere. This light comes with 1/4 threads on each side of the light. You can actually hook this up on a boom, on a ball mount, or using the TL-M2 adapter here, that you can actually hook up two lights like this, making it into a 60cm light. This particular accessory here not only allows you to mount the light this way, you can actually use a ball mount or anything a 1/4 thread that you can think of, and you can also hook this up on a drywall, which has two holes for screwing on the wall, and you can actually permanently mount the light over there as well. This thing is made to fit this light like a glove here. The shape is perfect for this light, but if you mount it too quickly, you might scratch the light, which I actually did a couple of scratches here, and I can see them in every single angle that I look at here. So just slowly, you won't be able to scratch the light. All the accessories here that came with the TL30, they're extremely easy to put it back in the bag and everything is separate. And this particular grid here is so easy to install, it takes you seconds. They come with the 2 elastics on the back here, you just wrap the light around and you're done. And I'm sure Godox is going to come up with even more accessories for both the TL30 and the TL60, accessories they haven't thought of it yet, the many other ways you can actually mount this light somewhere or how to use the light in a different way. Now to compare this light with something else here, all my other LED tubes, they are actually the same size or bigger than the TL60. So the only light that I can see that comes close in comparison to the size and wattage of this light here will be the NANLITE Pavotube 26C, which another YouTuber actually demonstrated that the battery of the TL30 is actually slightly longer than the actual Pavotube light. So even if I have the Mark II 6C Pavotube light here to compare this light with, everybody out there is doing a wonderful review about the Godox products. So instead of you just taking my word for here, their opinion, they thought the app is superior. This light has a longer battery than the Pavotube little lights, and the app is actually superior. The Godox app, it just works. There's no passwords, there's no ads running on the light. The app doesn't crash. You don't even need to bother with the Bluetooth setting on your phone. The thing just finds the light and the thing just works. And most importantly, for professional filmmaking, you don't want an app that's not reliable, that's gonna give you a hard time on set. You want something that works. You open the app, the thing turns on, and then it finds the light, and then you control everything, and this is all you need on set. Now this light, like I said, it does everything the Godox TL60 does, except the remote control that this light does not accept. Now I'm going to be diving on the back of the menu here. I'm going to show you guys how this thing works. So here's the back of the light. Starting with the power here, press and hold. To update the firmware, as you can notice, this light does not feature a USB, and the other lights that do feature the USB, you simply can go to the Godox Lite App and update the firmware there itself without the need to go to the actual desktop and download the software there. To set the brightness of the light, press quickly the dim button, and then it's going to be very fast in 10 increments or very slow in 1% increments all the way to 100% very quickly. Press once again to lock in. When you press in, it's going to allow you to change the color temperature and the green magenta correction. The color temperature here very quickly ranges all the way from 2700 degrees Kelvin all the way to 6500 degrees Kelvin. When you're adjusting it slowly, just go by 100 degree Kelvin increments, or very quickly all the way down or all the way up. When you press this button here, it's going to switch between the color temperature and the green magenta correction. So since we're here, it goes from -50 all the way to +50. Now here's the interesting thing. The other lights, Godox SZ150R, the LD150R or RS or similar lights that run on the Godox Lite app here. The interesting thing is the green magenta correction here. For example, 100%, you can go all the way to -50 or +50, right? The other lights, as soon as you start to dim the light, for example, like, 50%, you no longer can go all the way to -50 or +50. It's going to be around -30 or -20, or when you go to like even 20% or 1%, it's going to be limited the amount of the range that you can go here. But it doesn't mean that you're actually limited. What that means is, at least for the other lights, the software from the other lights are simply telling you that if you are at this particular percentage here, let's say that you can only go to the -7 and +3, for example, is actually enough to do the color correction. But this particular one here, you can actually go freely all the way to -50, even at this very low setting here. So, I don't know. And over here is the same deal. You can actually go very slowly in one number at the same time, or you can go by decimals. Now press the mod button again. It's going to take you to the RGB settings and once again to the effects. Now when you press and hold, that's when you're going to be accessing your Bluetooth settings. Now to change the settings to on or off, you simply tap this quickly in and then it switches to off, switches back to on. When you actually turn the dial, you're going to have the reset option. Keep in mind that when you do this here, you're no longer connected to the Godox Lite app. You're going to have to find the light again. So just in case your light is actually acting weird and the Godox app doesn't find the light, I never experienced this before, but in the event that it does happen, all you have to do is to reset here, and then you actually find the light again on the light, and the app should run normally. To exit here, quickly press the mod button, and you'll go back to the main page. Now to go to the RGB page, press quickly the mod button, and then on the top is your hue, the bottom is the saturation. To change between the two, just press this in here. To adjust the colors, you can go in one by one number or in decimals. To adjust the saturation, press this in, then it goes from 100 all the way to 0. Now to access the effects, simply press quickly the mod button again. There's the effects, which there are 13 of them. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be showing you guys every single one of these effects in real time. If you don't feel like watching this, simply skip the video. I have actually accept chapters in the description there. It's only 13 effects and it doesn't take that long anyway. So to change the speed here, you can actually press this in, speed number 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to keep everything to speed 1 so the video doesn't take long to show you this here. The first one is the RGB cycle. Second one is flash. Third is laser. Lightning. Next one is the broken bulb. I gotta wait until you finish its process here, its loop or whatever. There you go. And the number 6 is the TV. Number 7 is the candlelight. The candlelight here, as you can see, is a little bit too greenish for my taste. So, I don't know, it's an okay effect for the candlelight here. It should be more on the orangish, on 1000 Kelvin. But to me, it looks a little too green, as you can see here. It's not really a candle color, so. Same thing with the fire here. In my opinion, is a little bit too green. Next one is the firework. Next one is the police. Fire truck. Ambulance. And the SOS. Now the one thing that's missing here is the actual music effect. If there was a microphone built in the slide here, when it listens to a noise or a beat, it's gonna be actually matching the beat, or every time there's noise, every time there's silence, it stops. I wish the music effect was here because it's one of my favorite ones, because I'm a drummer. And press the mod button again, takes you back to the CCT page, and this is pretty much all there is inside the light here. So I'm gonna launch the Godox Lite App right here. Currently I have my TL60s and some other lights here. So to add these lights here, all you have to do on the top right corner of the app, click on add. As long as the Bluetooth is set to on, you will see all the devices here. So let's click on both of them. On the bottom, click confirm. And it takes no time to connect this light. And once these lights are connected, they're never going to be disconnected. Now it's actually added. So the little light bulbs here, they come on, you can actually turn them off, as you can see here. Every single light that you connect on this app here, you always will be able to see them here, whether you're using the light or not. For example, the SZ200BI, if I click on it, it says equipment is offline because the light is unplugged and it's on its case and it's stored on the shelf there. As soon as I bring it back here, turn it on, it's gonna be working. So if you wanna use this light here, click on here, and then you can actually adjust your colors here. You can also go to the CCT, for example, adjust your color temperature, the green magenta correction, light intensity. Then you want to switch back to the other one here, device list. Click on this one here, and then the same exact thing. This light is going to be controlled by itself because these lights are not assigned to a group. So if you want to assign the lights to a group, click on device list, and then add this light as a group here. As a matter of fact, I reviewed several of these lights, the TL60, the SZ200BI, the SZ150R, the LD150R. All these lights, they work with this application here. So to keep this video short, if you want a tutorial on the application here, I think I'm the only person on YouTube so far that actually did a tutorial every single little step. It's like a 10-15 minute tutorial. If you're interested in watching that, here's the link right here. And once you're there is another complete review of another Godox product here that you can actually watch. If you don't feel like doing that, I provide chapter selection access there. So all you have to do is go to the description and find the Godox app little chapter there and watch it from there. And that's the end of my review. I hope this video was useful to you. I'm trying to do here is review some gear for you guys. The part that I like the most when I upload the video is actually the comments. You guys are welcome to drop down the comments there, whatever questions that you have. And actually the purpose of this video, for not being a 5-minute video, is to eliminate any possible questions you guys might have. But if you still have questions, feel free to drop them down there. I absolutely love when I see comments there and I respond to everything. And if you'd like to subscribe, that'll be super cool. And if you want to give me a thumbs up, I'll thank you twice. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.